Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of the AEW Dynamite pre-show. We are alive, and we're ahead of what should be a good Dynamite this week. I like the card. I'm excited about it. But here's the thing about this show, right? We sometimes talk Dynamite, but my co-host here today wants to just talk graps, wants to enjoy wrestling, because if there's one thing that they know about us, Joe, is that we love wrestling. You know?
True. We love wrestling. We don't watch it often.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. And we know what we do?
What do we do?
We love the business. We
We
love the
do.
business. That's what we do. Like an 80s wrestler at an autograph signing, we love the business.
Mm-hmm. We love what the business has given us.
Yes.
How the business treats us.
Yes.
We love it. It's a great
we
time.
love the business. We don't like watching it. We just love the business.
Mm-hmm. And that's the motto of today's show, which I hope you guys are excited for. If you are excited, if you're looking forward to it, you can like right now.
Oh,
you could do it later after we do something that's likable. But for now, you could do that. You can you can send
wait
your
a while.
Yeah, we'll do our best. I don't know. You can send in chats. You guys direct the show, as you know, and we also have super chats. They're alive as usual. If you guys are feeling so generous, we have one right now from Mid Takes. This is a good thing to start with, I think. Appreciate you, Mid. Joe, how does it feel to be on a show with lineage such as Mid Takes Zero and Caden Lee? Big shoes to fill. Praying it's not Ospreay versus Trent.
Well, the thing about Mid Takes is he appears to have made a choice, I presume a choice, and maybe didn't lose a bet, to have Caden Lee as his profile picture.
It's really nasty.
And I actually have numbers on this, so I know for a fact that Caden Lee is the least popular member of the Late Night Grin roster. So, considering that, it doesn't really rattle me very much. I mean, you're listing the least popular member of a 28-man roster and someone who likes that person so much they've got them as their profile picture. So, in the grand scheme of things, really, I feel pretty comfortable right now, actually. I also own this StreamYard. I own StreamYard, actually. I bought them.
Just in general?
Yeah.
The deal
so
closed?
I can do, if I want, dude, I can just go this. To the power, that's
far too much. It's far too much.
Respect for you, I'm not going to do that often.
Mm-hmm.
But Mid Takes just know that I'm pretty much at the wheel here.
It's available. It's always an option. It's always a choice, especially when you're praising Caden Lee. It always, I understand if you were to step in there. I completely get it. On the second half of the super chat, though, Ospreay Trent seems likely. I don't know. Yeah. I don't want it either.
Be a good match, though, to be honest.
Probably be fine.
Trent's not very interesting, but the match honestly would be killer, I think.
Really? You'd be bought in on that as an Ospreay match?
Look, man, Trent works really, really hard. I know, and it's it sounds patronizing. It sounds like I'm talking about B-Fab or someone, but Trent's a really good worker. He really is very good. It's just he's very bland, and unfortunately, his first go round as part of or surrounding the Don Callis family was not particularly compelling. The Orange Cassidy feud did not catch fire. I think it's fair to say. So, I get why people are not excited, but I think it is going to be Trent.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll be Trent as well. I know there's some other names thrown out there. Jeff Cobb was posting about things. Maybe Mark Davis could always be there. A couple of names out there. I'm sure we'll see them in chat. So I appreciate you getting Mid Takes, but I don't appreciate your profile picture. Please change it immediately. We have another one from Riley Walker. Thank you, Riley. Oh, so y'all love the biz like TK and listen to the Cornet pod. This is actually a thing, Joe. Did you see this? It's very recent that this was posted.
No.
TK and Jimmy Jacobs would drive to the shows together. They would talk wrestling. And they'd listen to Cornette. That's what they said.
Who was the source on this?
Jimmy Jacobs.
What?
I don't know why he would say that out loud.
I believe it. I just don't know why he would say it publicly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, an insane percentage of the industry listens to Jim Cornette. An unbelievable percentage, I would put. Most people just kayfabe it, So.
Yeah, they just don't ever talk about it or say anything about it. Yeah, which is smart. You should just do that. Don't tell anybody about that.
Tony Khan was a huge fan of the when the shoe interviews back in the olden days was a big thing. Tony was a smart fan, right? So he would have seen all of those. He's probably a huge mark for Cornette, which again is not uncommon. I think probably would rather not have that information out there, considering the things that Jim says about him. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. On podcast, did you happen to see the CM Punk It wasn't shoot. It was kayfabe interview he did with Jackie Redmond.
I didn't see it. I was told to watch it by someone who's now disgraced and we don't talk about on the air.
Who?
But I was told it was very good. Jackie is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So
she was very good.
Yeah, so I will probably watch it at some point. But I saw like some clips about AJ and it seemed like very honest. Seemed like it.
Seemed like it. It was sick. I quite enjoyed it. Listen to those instead of the other one that TK listens to on his drives. But we have some pre-show chats that were sent in. Art Irony, famed. What do you call that? Like he was also on the channel at one point. I'm a top Konosuke Takeshita 2025. So this I raised a question on Twitter. If Konosuke Takeshita is the top, who's the bottom?
I have not. So this was a tweet you're referencing here.
Yes, I was hoping you'd know, but I should assume these things.
In the match, who's the
He quote tweeted the match graphic that just said "I'm a top." That's all he said.
Okay, so the match is Buddy, Brody, Kai Fletch is the other gentleman in the match, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Makes you think. Well, we'll have to analyze these things. That's just the kind of analysis we do.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll do a little bit of wrestling talk here.
Okay.
That match, if just let to run wild, if they get, I would say, 12 to 15, and they just go do everything, go nuts, that match could be unbelievable.
Yeah, I would agree.
Dude, because there's going to be a personal... I don't know if Buddy and Kyle are friendly at all, because I say know each other, folks. That may sound crazy. There's 150 wrestlers there. A lot of the guys don't interact like that, right? But there will be a pride of just the two Australian grapplers that are prominent the week of an Australian show. I'm telling you, they're going to be going nuts. And it's also two guys who work very hard anyway. Brody's getting over huge. Lest we even think about Takeshita and all the things he's been tweeting. I mean, all of those matchups, Brody versus Kyle, Brody versus Takeshita, Takeshita versus Buddy.
Yeah.
And then the Kyle and Buddy one I'm talking about. So, I mean, that match could be unbelievable. I'm actually going to make a point of watching that match. Definitely.
Yeah. There's a lot of spins you could do, as you were talking about, too. The singles matches. Both teams work hard. I'm very into, let's not do any heat segment the entire match. I would like to see none of it. Just go. Just go. This is 4 sick-ass wrestlers. Just do sick shit. Like you said, it's important.
The only thing I would say is Kyle has gotten good at the heel stuff. So hopefully, if they do it, hopefully that will keep things. But I generally agree with your assessment. I mean, that should be a meathead tag, and I mean that lovingly. It's just those guys have such cool offense, and they all kick ass. So that should be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's probably, I don't know, because there is another good match on the show, actually. We have a couple of them this time. Last week, there wasn't any. But this week we have, well, there was the Yuka one. But other than that, wasn't much. This week, we're kind of full on good matches. It's surprising. But you got in on a good show.
Are you referencing Swerve and Ricochet?
I am referencing Swerve and Ricochet, but I'm also referencing the women's match tonight. Timeless Tony and Queen Amanada.
Oh, that does sound rather tasty.
Could be pretty sweet.
I like it. There's some good stuff there. I mean, Swerve and Ricochet built their match.
That's true.
Queen Amanada is always fun to watch because she just beats the ever-loving hell out of people. And true, the one and only. Which used to be Ricochet's gimmick.
Really? Oh yeah,
yes.
You're right.
And now he's a pervert with scissors, which is a good. I think he's a good pervert with scissors. So I mean that's a compliment.
Yeah, there's other There's other perverts that do the scissor stuff, but they're doing turmoil right now, so you can't really But this is a more productive scissoring, I would say.
He's killing it, dude. Yeah, it's different kind of scissoring. They were very whimsical with their scissors. Very light-hearted. Ricochet is very aggressive with his scissors, and he wears glasses.
There's no silliness with him.
Saying that, Max Caster wears glasses too.
Yeah, but his are like the dorky guy at the coffee shop who pretends to read the feminist books.
Like these ones. Oh no, Jesus! That considerably escalated as you went through that.
But you know what I'm talking about? The guy at the coffee shop who's like, "Oh man, I love this Emrata book. It's so great." You know what I'm talking about?
I think you're dangerously close to veering into the social views of Max Caster, and I think you should probably stop there.
You think?
For all of us.
You sure?
Well, I don't know Max Caster. I just see his tweets. Yeah.
Well,
Brian Myers trained him, so how bad can he be, right?
That's true. He must be good in the ring. That's a legend we're talking about. It's a legend.
Very true. Very, very true.
We have Mr. Big Dude. Good to see Mr. Big Dude. My God, Joey Bing Bong making the town mere weeks after the counter programming incident. Fences mended, forgiven. We do forgive you here. I forgive you pretty quick. You know,
As you should. Yeah.
we were cool. It's you do pay me, so I felt the need to be cool with it. You know what I mean?
That was a tough night for me, dude. Just please.
Okay, I'll acknowledge it. We'll move past.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Mr. Big Dude, once again, it was a mere 7 days ago in this very chat where I said we were working big Rome. So excuse me while I say this with a big victory lap. We getting another WrestleMania main event, sing his song. I won't do that, but we do appreciate Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Yeah, I do. I haven't got a problem with Seth Rollins. I mean, I don't really like. It's a complicated thing, isn't it? Because I don't really want to watch another triple threat match again for the rest of my life. But the idea that someone tried to politic him out of a match and he like out politic that and actually got into the new match is very funny, and I respect it. The only thing is, there's a very good chance he's just going to get pinned by one of the two guys, and that admittedly does take away some of the cool points.
Yeah, he does seem to be a pin eater, like you said.
Yeah,
but like, you know, at least he's there.
He's still impressive. Yeah,
still involved. I have to respect it, and also we have to mention the wrestler he's becoming slowly but surely. He's a punch guy.
Punches. Yeah, I like where he's at as of late. I do. I'm impressed, and he did a good promo on Raw. It was way too long, but that's not his fault. That's just how they segment their show.
Yeah.
It was a good promo. His delivery is very good. So he's doing good stuff. I look forward to the sort of. I'd say in the next couple of weeks we're going to get a report that this was the plan since like July or something. You know, it was always a triple threat, guys. It was always plan all along. Definitely hasn't changed dramatically in the last month. No way. But,
no. They plan out in advance. They know what they're doing. Like they've known this since Mania last year.
If you don't believe them, just ask. They'll tell you the plan.
Yeah.
They'll probably say before even Punk came back, we knew it. Triple threat, WrestleMania 41, lock it in Vegas.
I also want to mention too, there was a fellow on Twitter who, he added New Japan under my Seth Rollins like appreciation tweet because I was like, good on him. He found his way into the match. And he added like New Japan World and said, this guy's using a picture from one of your matches. Kill him. My profile picture was one of it was a Gabe Kidd one from one of his matches. He was telling them to kill me.
Huh.
Can you believe that?
Interesting. Very interesting. It's kind of weird, but was he that? Yeah. Is he a big anti-Seth Rollins guy? Is it someone we know? Was it like a Grinner?
No, it wasn't anyone we know, I don't think, but it was very aggressive. I don't know what's going on. I was praising him. It could be. It could be. You never know with Uncle Howdy. I mean, it could be anywhere.
All right, let me have a look here. By the way, I mean, this thumbnail is,
you a fan?
That was when I was a young man, Novi, you know?
Yeah, it's the best version of you, I'd say. You're cooked now.
Okay, I'm going to find. This had 400 likes.
Big tweet. You got to find it a little bit.
This guy looks like a good account, to be fair.
Did you find the fella's account or me?
I like this fella's account. He's got a dragon profile pic, Free Palestine in his description. I'm going to follow this guy.
But he wants to kill me, Joe. Well, you know.
Win some, you lose some. I think that's a worthwhile. He recently rated an Ilya Dragunov Nathan Frazier match 2 2/4 out of 5.
Okay, never mind. He can be forgiven.
This dude is awesome. Hang on a second.
Is it you?
Agonize?
Don't shout him out.
He's watching Ilya Dragunov matches and he's giving all of them 2 stars. This guy's a beast. Joe and Angle 3.5, correct. Even way overrates it. Damn, he is a dude. He's an aggressive star rating guy. Whoa.
Like a real, I'm gonna rate everything kind of person.
Sam Joe Brock Lesnar 2 3/4. Like this dude's he ain't breaking his scale for anything, you know. I respect it. I'm not gonna follow him, but I do respect him. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him for not breaking his scale. Sure. Yeah. I mean, he can, you know, we all have all of our things. Speaking of we all have our things, Hologram, he does have superpowers now. Did you see this? He can do a little thing with his hand.
Hologram?
Yeah, he's like a suit. He's got powers now, like Uncle Howdy.
I haven't seen that, but I do think Hologram is awesome. So good for him.
Good for him. Shout out JJ. Good for JJ. Always happy to see him. Was referring to you as a young man here, handsome guy. Which Fair.
I was very handsome. It was for the business, demons and
the demons. You're always battling those demons in the post
I
shows.
can't find the original picture. I'm standing. There's like a huge pizza on the table, and I'm standing over it like I'm sort of the chef.
That's a good context.
I'll find it though. Yeah.
JA, good to see Jay. Can't watch stream tonight. All praise to Sabrina Carpenter with the Young Bucks t-shirt. Always praise Sabrina Carpenter.
She's a good worker, bro.
Very good worker. Good artist too. She won awards, didn't she not? I think.
Someone else should post a side-by-side of her and Tiffany Stratton, because I haven't yet figured out that's a thing people are posting. Someone else should be like, hey guys, have you noticed? Huh? And I can read it and go, oh, wow. Oh.
These two really starting to look alike to me. This is weird. Yeah, that's someone should do that. Joe, get on it. Or tell Bob to do it.
But if Bob tweeted that, but with his own like delivery, the way he types his captions, that would be incredible.
We have the big fat orange cat. Afternoon to you, Novi, and evening to you, Joy Bing Bong. What are you two expecting from New Japan this year? The real, I would say. You have some nuance to this, though.
Yeah, a lot of really long matches. Guys pretending to be Okada for some reason. No, you know what? I think Gedo, I do think Gedo is washed. Now, I don't know watch as closely as some people. Whenever I stop by, I still feel that way. I'm aware many people are excited right now. If Goto wins the belt in a match that is 21 minutes long, I will do like multiple New Japan Grin-alongs just to acknowledge their choice. If Goto loses a match that's 36 minutes long, then, I mean...
You'll bring a gun.
Oh, there's punishment ahead. But, no, look, I think wherever you think of Gedo, where he's at as a booker, he always tries to get guys over. And I think there will be multiple projects. I mean, look, let's be real. As much as I buried the match, dude, what he tried to attempt with Shota was like... outrageous. I mean, he really, really did try his best there. I mean, he put him in a Tokyo main event against and it completely failed in my view. But he did it. And I do think because of that, you'll see some bold directions. I think one of the big things to circle is Gabe Kidd, right? Who he can't be the answer as a Gaijin especially, but like after the Kenny match, there does need to be focus there.
He's got to be in a big spot once again come Kingdom next year. Like
it just
not in terms of match, but more he just needs to be at a bigger status than he was this year.
Yeah, and some of development to who he is as a person too, I think, and a character. But
he had a great quote, by the way, the other day about Tanahashi crying during his match. He said Tanahashi recognized, he saw the future. He said, we're going to be okay. It's pretty much what he was saying. It's like a longer form, but
he kind of did come off that way. Yeah. And there's a lot of room to be optimistic for all my fun. I worry about the talent, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, we have to real Naito is like it's over, It's
been done for a while.
It's been done, but like this, I don't even think you can do like a half push this year. I think you just have to fully transition into a different role. And that takes away one of your few drawing cards. So there are challenges ahead. I think Tsuji has got to be a big piece.
Yes.
However,
he's got a belt.
He does, but I know it's like a broken record, but Tsuji should not be wrestling. If Tsuji's if he's going to be a main event guy this year, he can't be wrestling 35-minute New Japan matches from 2010s. Like he needs to have his own approach to the main events, and there needs to be a difference. Yeah,
makes me so mad because I'm a little lower on Tsuji than some people are, not because of Tsuji, but because of I don't trust them in a lot of ways. Because I think that guy should go out there, do all his cool moves, and be done under 20, like you're saying. But they always force these guys to fit into one mold and one style. It kind of takes away a lot of their individuality. They're doing a lot with I would even say like guys like Yuya and those kind of people. It's like they gotta have their own style too. It's important.
Yeah, because the house style needs to evolve. You're not going to get anywhere fast with guys trying to replicate what Tanahashi and Okada did. They're just going to look like imposters.
Yeah.
I mean, Shota struggles with that to begin with, right? We're being real. So it's not irony just said it in our chat. This isn't a better or worse thing. This is a different thing. And it's just like Tsuji can be great, but it's going to be a far shorter road to greatness if he does his own thing. And they need to let him do that. They need to trust the guys to find their own way as main eventers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And they have so many exciting young talents. Like I feel like they've kind of done that too with what's his name? Kosei Fujita. I feel like they've actually
Mhm.
kind of let him be his own person a little bit. And look at the way he's translating right now. Like people are so inspired by him. His
Yeah.
work.
He's
I haven't seen it yet, but
talented.
he had a great match the other day. From all accounts, with Desperado. So
Will was great. Uemura is someone who I've seen flashes of and I've liked.
he was better
There's
after a
talent there.
minute. It took a second, to shed
Yeah.
the TNA.
His style pops me. I haven't seen like tons and tons, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like the most well versed on New Japan. Takeshi getting a dual contract is interesting. How many dates can they get on him? Because he could be a big piece.
Yeah,
We'll see.
he could be their future if they,
I mean,
my
he's
God,
amazing. Yeah.
he's incredible. He's made for that. Riley brings it up once again. Are we happy at the end of the day that the guy who makes decisions listen to Jimmy Cornette? No. In fact, it sounds bad.
What I would say is most incredible about it is not only does he listen to it, but he clearly doesn't like make note of any of it. So you're not even getting any sort of give and take there,
Yeah.
It's not even like he's listening to this guy we dislike, but he's learning something from it. Nothing has come from him listening to it. And maybe I'm mistaken. I don't listen to Jim. Maybe there's loads of things Jim has suggested that Tony has implemented. But I would be surprised. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a difference between listening to like opposing voices and then listen to that. Very big difference.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to talk about politics on here, but yeah, I agree. So
no, well, not necessarily politics, right? Yeah.
What you're saying is maybe Dutch Mantel will be, less. Who else is there?
We're lesser evil.
Yeah, just try and work down the scale. I mean, Dutch, she got busted open. Bischoff.
Mm-hmm.
Bischoff is kind of like I want to be very careful how I phrase this.
There's one thing I know about him these days. He's a thumbnail guy.
Well, he's a thumbnail guy, yeah. But he basically does the Cornette shtick in a sort of more sponsor-friendly fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say sponsor, I don't mean because I'm sure Jim Cornette has tons of sponsors, and I don't even know if Bischoff is Bischoff even successful. I don't know. I'm kind of
I have no idea.
Here, but my point is, Bischoff is much less likely to like personally assault one of your one of your wrestlers and call them slurs. So I digress.
Lesser evil podcast listening. It's why we watch Late Night Grin.
True.
Red Meat Wrestling. Always good to see Red Meat Wrestling. Imagine talking about Dynamite when Lexi Bliss is about to hard carry SmackDown to glory. This is a great point. Truly.
Yeah.
Are we bought in?
Not really, no. We had a bit of a sobering podcast last night, me and a fellow guys by the name of Cactus Black. And
I was aware. I listened.
We realized she was going to be on SmackDown, and we looked at the SmackDown roster and kind of struggled.
Not deep, Not a deep bag she's got. Don't know how many top matches she's going to be having. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's going to be a 6. So,
yeah.
Is that right? A 6? That doesn't seem right. Or is she going to be a 6? Is she going to be 6?
6. Gonna be 6.
Right, but if I say someone was joining the Wyatt family, I would go, they're going to be a Wyatt, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Here? So
she's gonna be a 6. No, yeah, she's gonna be a 6. Or she says she's gonna be part of the family.
She's gonna join the family, and people will get upset about that. But
here's the thing: is she gonna be a sicko? Speaking of AEW Dynamite,
sicko, I believe the official definition for sicko is someone who watches wrestling on Wednesdays
or watches Will Ospreay matches.
To answer that, she will not be a sicko. No, I'm pretty confident of that.
Yeah. Well,
she still has to figure out who Lyra Valkyria is and all the new gals on Raw and SmackDown, dude. Give her time,
Yeah, she's got to meet the roster.
Yeah,
plenty of folks to meet. Plenty of folks. Red Meat Wrestling again, unironically, going to become a Jey Uso shooter just because Twitter hates him so much. He does do that. Do you want to say it while you do it? You want to do the whole thing?
I can't do both. I'm still working on one or the other.
Yeah, can't get
but
it.
It's more. There's a hip and a shoulder element that goes with the yeet, and I like Jey Uso.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler. I think.
I like him,
and I think people are crying too much. It's pissing me off.
It is a lot. I'm all for passion in the business because I love the business, but good God, man, there's other things to worry about in our world,
We have bigger fish to fry, I fear, than Jey Uso getting an opening match on WrestleMania. I think it's fine, guys.
I just do, you know, sometimes I'll be in the middle of something and I'll just quickly go to my timeline, just see what's going on, and I'll see like extensive debate on a Tuesday afternoon about Jey Uso. You can't help but just kind of go, "Oh Jesus, please," you know?
Yeah, you just want it to stop. You want it to end. I feel like we can all just, you know, Jey Uso, not the greatest wrestler around, and he might be a little bit of an entrance merchant, but he sure gets pops. People like to watch his matches.
Here's the thing, dude. Even if you think he's terrible and you hate him, you don't want to see him again, I still don't know if you need to be debating it 4 days later. I think it's probably time to let it go.
Yeah, we just have to accept things and move on. Be done with it, I would say.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad piece of advice, but that's what we're giving you guys. Just accept things and move on.
Accept things and go on about your fucking day.
Yeah.
Rosho, always good to see Rosho. Did I see the Fantastica Mania card? I haven't, but I did see that there was a match. I forget. I think it was Dorado, and then it was Dorada, Escara Dorada, and then it was I forget the name of the other person, but he is wrestling in a singles match. And anytime that happens, I'm okay with it, and I'm excited. So
I didn't see the card, but Masquerade Dorada is amazing. He's the only wrestler who still has GIF power.
Yeah.
Every other GIF in wrestling, Soberano Jr. it was. Every other wrestler who is a GIF wrestler, I now have seen too much to pop for their GIFs. Masquerade Dorada, I still go, oh my God, that was impressive.
Yeah. He can just do cool shit. And it's Soberano Jr. is the name too, which is another cool ass wrestler. Another great one. So that's exciting.
When is Fantastic, man? We should do a Grin along for that.
Next month, I think. I think that's a March endeavor. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong.
We should try and do a Grin along for that.
Chat, tell us what's going on. What's going on with Fantastica Mania? Red Meat Wrestling 2 3/4 Demon Trent Beretta. I would say 3 1/4. 3 1/4. It's this month. It's the end of this month. Okay.
Oh shit.
You fresh off the week-long break, we'll jump into Fantastica Mania cards.
Let it play
out. We have Speedball mention as the name for the this is one I forgot to bring up for the Ospreay match. Don Callis family Speedball. Thoughts?
No.
You're not sold?
I mean, I think Speedball can be a great heel, but I think he's got to come in as a babyface, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Agree. He's too good as a babyface.
There is something like smug about him that you can eventually do as a heel, but at first, like, let him come in and do all these cool moves because he's got legitimately cool offense, and the crowd will like his matches. So
yeah,
and I also don't like the vibe with Don.
Doesn't fit. It doesn't mesh well to me in my head. I'm not a fan of it. And also, I feel like that would prevent us from getting Brass Monkey, and I just can't have that. I would like to have his theme song. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Big dude. Speaking of TK, that Australia quote feels like damage control. That was insane. Australia's been a weird situation.
Bailey and EO, damage control. Can you give me the quote, please? I don't know what this is referenced. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a day here in Gotham. I'm sorry.
It was basically along the lines of it was always going to be a TV special. That was pretty much what he was talking about.
So to be completely honest, and I don't know this, but considering when they announced the show, there is a good chance they didn't actually know what it was going to be because they didn't have the deal wasn't locked in, right?
Yeah.
So imagine they're in the middle of negotiations for a TV deal and they don't even know if Collision's still going to be on Saturdays. That would have a pretty big impact on what Grand Slam would be, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of moving pieces with it. I definitely don't think it was announced as a pay-per-view. I'm almost certain it wasn't announced.
It was not. I know for a fact it wasn't.
They just said now obviously, I don't know what the ticket prices were. So if the ticket prices were crazy and it's a stadium show, I can see why people just assume this will be a pay-per-view. But my guess is they didn't know what their deal would be yet in terms of max specials. They just knew they were going to run this show and they'd have that footage. So I don't know.
I'm also very alarmed that they thought that running a big stadium for a TV special was a smart decision. I'm a little alarmed by that.
The stadium was stupid to begin with because they're
very silly. Very silly.
Yeah, they were never going to be popular enough there to run that arena, that stadium. It was insane. But
yeah. But hopefully, at the end of the day, we have some good wrestling on that show, Joe. Because if there's one thing, we love wrestling, and we love hanging out and talking to people. And if they're enjoying this show, they can leave a like on this broadcast, but only odd numbers.
Dude, my coat sleeve is here. You should have told me. That's very unprofessional of me. Look at that.
It looked like another person. I kind of liked it. Look, there was someone else hanging out. No, a little further. Now I know there's no one there. There's someone else standing over you.
Yeah, but yeah, Apple Juice is right. It was one of those government bought shows. So very strange, very very strange situation.
We will run an anti-Australian government agenda soon. We'll be lighting it up.
Maybe my brother lives there, so probably not the best idea. But.
Oh, good call then. All right, well, we won't talk about it. We'll just think it. The Cactus Black fella, he does have a future. I did hear him last night on the LNG broadcast. That was behind gold, behind a paywall. If people were looking for that, looking to see this new prospect in the business, they can subscribe to that if they so choose.
That's available for all members too. $1.99 will get you access to that. But wow. Yeah, we watched JC Jane and Stephanie Vakira, and then we did a podcast about Alexa Bliss and Alexa Bliss, I think.
The SmackDown roster, women's roster, should be said.
Yeah, I did. At one point, I booked Alexa and Howdy versus Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona.
and you know, Cactus Black went, get behind that.
He supported me in my endeavor.
He did. He was politely eating his food while supporting what you were doing, which I respect. Let's I'll bring something here to you because we haven't done this for you in a while, and you don't have to. You could just be silent this whole time while I bring this up on the screen. You don't have to answer at all, but you skip out on our pay-per-view preview shows, so you never get the temperature check question.
Not only do I skip out on them, I may be canceling them from the platform, which is even better.
Also true.
Just getting rid of them, just taking them off the schedule so I can get paid more. So this is difficult for me because I don't watch closely enough to give it like a proper objective temperature check.
Mm-hmm.
What I see, honestly, and this is my perspective from the outside looking in, I see a lot of stuff with promise and potential, and or a lot of stuff that's just outright good being rained on by the cloud that is the Death Riders thing. And this is not me doing Jon Moxley bad because I don't want to do that. I have a lot of time for Jon Moxley and I have a lot of respect for his career, and I still think he's capable of great things. I just think, unfortunately, this Death Riders situation is it's one of the, it happens sometimes. It's just not any good, sadly.
Yeah, it's just a miss.
And it's one of those, you know, when it rains, it pours. It just feels like the further they go into it, the worse it gets, the colder it gets, to use the temperature check thing. So every time I see a Death Riders angle, it comes across colder than the last time.
Yeah.
And I think the result of that is that everything underneath it gets like dissected and analyzed to a degree that's just not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think wrestling's broad strokes. So like right now they may be cold, but I honestly think the title program is most of that.
Yeah.
And let me be clear, that doesn't mean that it's the only problem. What I'm saying is if your top stuff, like look at Raw, okay, or SmackDown, whatever. The Raw main event scene is compelling with Sammy, Seth, and Punk, right, and all their dynamic and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and that allows you to look past some of the woes of like, you know, the Gunther stuff hasn't really been that good, right? But their main event stuff has been good. So on SmackDown, they have Cody and Kevin, which means that the things generally are trending in a positive direction, even if that show is generally quite bad. I would know. I've watched quite a bit of it. So that's the biggest thing is you need to fix the world title situation. And I'm aware Gunther is the world champion, guys, but let's be honest, he's not the main guy on Raw. Yeah. So that would be my thing. On a personal level, removing objectivity and analysis and all that good stuff, I've probably never watched it less than I do now, just to be honest.
I mean, and that's fair, you know?
Yeah. And that, I say, the reason I said removing objectivity is that isn't necessarily an indication that it's worse than ever. That's my personal interest.
Yeah. Your attachment isn't there like it maybe once was.
Yes. And I don't want to ruin your show here with this sort of pessimism, but I don't have the interest anymore in like, hopefully things will change. I've kind of conceded on that. I've sort of just, it is what it is to me now. I don't really have a lot of interest in watching it. And that doesn't mean I won't watch matches. I'll always watch certain individuals that I just think a lot of. But it doesn't have a lot of juice for me now. And when I stop, and the other problem is, and you know this with anything, it's like once you get out of the habit of watching it regularly,
then
once you stop in, you go, oh man, this crowd's really quiet, or this crowd's, you know, like whatever it may be, or you know,
it's tough. There's a couple of things that I think you said that are honest, you know? Like I think Raw, no matter what the problems are there, because I actually watched that show this week.
Yeah.
And I had issues with some of the show because I was sitting there sitting through it. When you close on a main event angle and a main event match that is as good as what they're delivering there, it doesn't matter. When you listen to the crowd, they're into what they're seeing. They care about pretty much everything outside of a couple little spots here and there. It's very easy to forgive those things. With AEW, like you said, it's a little quiet in there, you know?
It's their complete opposites. AEW can do episodes where everything's good and they close on a really cold Death Riders angle when everyone's like, "Oh Jesus," you know. It's it's wrestling and anything, sports, whatever, is results based. Currently, the way that the perception is that WWE is kicking ass and the AEW is struggling. Fair or unfair, that's the way people generally perceive it.
Yeah.
That isn't me doing team tribal and shit because I don't want to be on either team. I'm Joe Hulbert.
That's objective.
But as a result of that, everything that happens on AEW TV is analyzed like it's the cause of that result. And that then snowballs. And so every single thing they do now is like, oh, no wonder the houses are down. You know, Trent Barretta had a match on TV. It's like, Trent Barretta is not the problem, you know, or whoever.
Sorry, Trent.
Know, on Raw this week, I was talking about how the New Day, they shot this huge angle where they did the thing no one thought they'd ever do. They turned on Big E and they said all these awful things. It's been totally squandered on TV.
Yeah.
They're basically a prelim act now, almost like pantomime villains now.
Yeah.
But because their results are positive, people are saying it, but it isn't like, you know, that's why this is in the state it's in. It's just going, oh, this is not very good.
It's not very good. They're going to change it and all this.
Yeah.
But I have this, you know, that kind of thing. It's a different kind of situation.
Yeah, man. And it's just, you know, like look at all, you know, again, using WWE. We're using WWE not as we're using it to explain the way that these conversations happen. Chelsea Green was crowned the US champion 7 weeks ago. And it has been exactly what everyone feared it would be, which is she has no one to wrestle, and it's like the belt doesn't really have any place on the show, even though Chelsea's over. It's not Chelsea's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, her matches could be better, but it's not her fault, right? But people don't stress on or dwell upon that because generally they're positive. Their results are positive.
Yeah.
So it's a results business.
I think that's just a correct, objective analysis. I think it's a very, very smart, eloquent way to put it, I would even say. You've earned your check, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't done that for a while. That was real wrestling talk I just did there.
It was beautiful. It was artistry, I would even say.
Appreciate it.
But also, it should be mentioned because I've been sitting on this chat here, and I think I think it's the better time than now. Over under 1.5 Death Riders beatdowns tonight. Over.
Okay. So what's on the show tonight that they would be in? Like,
okay, let me see. They could theoretically. There's not much, really. There's not many spots for him, but I could say the same thing from last week a little bit.
They're doing Cope and FTR in the building, so
there's one.
Yeah. I think they can't actually get heat on them again. They'll just the babyfaces have to kick ass tonight.
Yeah, there's no way.
Dude,
you think
when is Revolution?
A couple weeks. It's 2 weeks after Grand Slam, so 3 weeks. Almost. Okay. I think that's the date. We'll get there, Joe. We'll make it there. No worries. We'll push our way through.
Oh my god, it's March 9th, dude.
Is it longer than that? I thought it was 2 weeks after.
March 9th.
It is no, it's 3 weeks after. Okay, it's 3 weeks after. Oops.
Dude, that's a lot of TV for Cope and Mox to film, man.
They've already not been able to fill this TV they've gotten very well. It's rather unfortunate. And that's gonna be the match. It's Joe, you won't be as locked in as you were before again. It's not gonna change things, I fear.
Yeah, the Cope thing bums me out because
he's not even that bad.
Yeah, I feel it's one of those things, and again, it goes back to what we just discussed. When it rains, it pours. It's like I don't think Copeland should be in the world title program, but it's led to a 180 on him that's kind of unfair and unearned.
I would agree with that. He cut a really good promo the other day too. It's like he's still good, like at his core, but when you're surrounded by the Death Riders, when that's your main thing, it's hard to be more than that. You know, it's hard to be any more than just Death Riders sucks.
Yeah, and it's also difficult because it's like from a booker point of view, I could see coming out of World's End, which let's be honest, at World's End, the world title thing was not exactly red hot, was it? It didn't feel like a main event happening.
No.
I could see as a booker going, Copeland's star power will help. That actually sounds like a very logical thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think there is a general growing sentiment of, the old guys, which I'm not a part of that. That's what I sense.
Mm.
And Copeland is kind of taking the brunt of that. So it's a difficult thing. I do feel kind of bad for him because it feels like everyone's just decided he sucks overnight. It's like he's pretty much doing the same thing. He's just doing it in the main event, which is part of the prior conversation, right? The main event is different.
Here's a little scoop because we have wonderful. This is the first time we've ever crossed 100 viewers on this channel, Joe. You are still a draw.
Really?
I've been telling you. You still get the people going.
Still got it, bro. I'm gonna up my price. I'm gonna up my rate.
That's okay. Don't do that here. All right. This is friends and family business. But on Saturday, I'm uploading again, folks. We're done with the break. We're uploading videos again. And I'm talking about AEW's, look at me, old wrestler issue.
Dramatic, are you gonna do the correct thing and stand in union, stand to United with Bobby Lashley and MVP? Like you should.
Oh yes, I will. It's a very crucial point, actually. Very crucial. So look forward to that. We'll do some nuanced conversations. We do that around here. Dare Rich, Novi and Joe, who would you like to see step up to the Hurt Syndicate? I think it's a very timely question.
Easy question, a great question, but it's an easy answer for me. Hook, Shibata, and Samoa Joe. That is absolute money, dude. If they're in the middle of the ring and those dudes come out to challenge them, that will get a huge reaction. I would love to see. Now I know Joe has some business with Christian. Post Revolution, you imagine Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Katsuyori Shibata and Samoa Joe. That's like an insane match. Yeah. So I think that's the obvious answer.
Yeah, I'd probably co-sign that. It's hard to even think of like anyone who fits better against them in a role, Like I would say the Gates of Agony, but who do they have, with them? I think that match would be sick, but I want MVP involved somewhere. I want that to be a part of it. But if not, Gates of Agony. That's my answer.
Well, the other thing with the Joe pitch is MVP and Samoa Joe go back a long, long way. I'm talking 20 plus years, and the original, I think you could argue the original version of what MVP's done since was the Beatdown Clan, which Samoa Joe is a part of. So you can have some fun with that. Samoa Joe and MVP on the microphone is blockbuster. That's glory. Money. So just the idea of the singles matches from that. I mean, Shelton's wrestled Shibata obviously in New Japan, but I don't know if Shelton's ever worked with Joe. Bobby Lashley and Katsuyori Shibata is a really weird match that I would like to see and investigate. So
I'd like to see it get a little time on a collision sometime.
Just
some nice grappling. That's what I'd enjoy.
Maybe you could like book Tokyo for that one.
Maybe they could book the Dome since they're in town.
Collision in Korakuen, bro. Could you imagine? That would be the sickest TV ever.
That'd be wonderful. If they could just run that every week, and I'd be very, very happy. I'd probably like fly the flag. I'd ride the wave.
That'd be awesome.
Would be sick. Riley, in a mask versus mask match, who would lose? Generico, Prince Puma, Killshot, or Infinito? Who do you think they look like under the mask? Well, the second half of your question, kayfabe. But of this four, who do you see losing there, Joe?
I mean, Generico, he reminds me of the guy on Raw who always loses, so I would say him. He would probably look like Buddy Matthews under the mask, I think.
You think?
A redheaded guy, maybe Brian Myers.
That's a better redhead guy, I think.
Yeah, he's not as jacked too.
Yeah, I would also say this Generico fella. I feel like these other guys, like, they just have another level of stardom that he doesn't have the politicking game like they do. I don't think he doesn't have the bag. You know what I mean?
True.
Some of them are just different. Red Meat brings it up. If Seth keeps being a punch guy, I might have to start liking him. Fellas, I think we might have to add him to the FC. The Novi FC might be expanding.
We have a Seth freaking revolution here, folks.
I will have to maybe burn it down. I don't know, Joe. It's just when I see him, he's having his match. He's not doing any dumb shit anymore. He's just beating guys up. He worked the Rumble. All he did was throw punches and kicks. I mean, come on. That's real shit.
He's going to let us down, though, soon.
Well, let's ride it till it happens, Joe. Let's be a part of it till it goes.
I'm not against it. He seems like
Yeah.
a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm sure. They're rich. Do you guys think Swerve Ricochet will end in a draw? I don't know. It's an interesting question because they've been building this match for a minute. I feel like there has to be a winner. I don't know. But this is a fun matchup tonight, Joe, don't you think?
That is interesting, actually. What is the right fit? Because you don't want to kill Ricochet's heat, but you got to protect Swerve's one of your tippy top guys, you know? So
it's a tough call.
I wouldn't want to beat Swerve. I got to be honest. I would be very hesitant to beat Swerve.
I would be. That's the thing. It could be a draw because I'd be very hesitant to beat both of these guys. Beat either of them. I think maybe you could do some finicky business there with Ricochet, stealing a win. Maybe they work it to the pay-per-view, do a Revolution match, maybe a little stipulation on there. I could see that. I could get down with it.
Swerve's big matches lately, he has not got the better of many of them. Am I correct?
You're correct because he didn't beat Bob. That's the one I really think of when I think of like his big matches as a late.
Hangman beat him. Dragon
beat
obviously beat him. I would have Swerve. I'd have Swerve catch him with a quick pin and then Ricochet get his heat back after, like a true coward.
Smart, good call. I'm with you. Let's do it.
Yeah,
there's your answer. The match will be quite good. I'm very much excited for it.
It'll be good. Ricochet's been good recently, dude.
Yes, he has. He's been one of their best characters, I would even say, which is kind of like I never would have expected to say that. Like I said, because I was grading him for the grading every new signing video, and I said, well, I would have never, coming out of All In, said like he was the best heel in the company, and you could argue he is right now, very easily argue it, which is pretty sick.
He's doing a hell of a job. He's an example of why you can't just like conclude your scouting report on these people. Like they're never going to change. You know, like everyone Ricochet, he'll be a good underneath babyface to have good matches, and it's like maybe he fully intends to evolve and change and be different. He's still a guy in his 30s. He's not 50 years old. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know about this. Like he hasn't. I don't know if he's spoken about this specifically, but I got the sense that he very quickly realized that, you know, there wasn't a look, how do I put this? There wasn't a sort of vacancy for what he originally was going to do, which is guy who does cool moves and loses as a babyface, which is saying that AEW has more of than maybe any promotion in the history of the world. It seemed to me he realized that quickly and kind of adjusted, and then he started ramping up the character elements, and he sort of stumbled his way into being a heel. You know, stumble's unfair. What I mean is I don't think he was ever aware that Hammerstein was going to react like that.
Yeah, like throw toilet paper at him. And that wasn't like, that was before they kind of made a thing of it on TV. That just naturally was happening.
Right. And they kind of leaned him to be a little bit of a dork, which again takes self-awareness, and it sounds like a dunk, but a lot of guys are dorks and they never ever use that for TV response. Like he did. So
it's perfect. Ricochet, once he finally became like real, it made it a part of himself. He got better because it was, we all could see it. Like we see the way you talk in your promos, no shade, but you're a geek. You know, it's good. Use it to your advantage. Don't try to like ignore it. It's no point.
I agree. And it'll be interesting. I guess the question will be how I didn't see the AR Fox match, but what it sounded like was they did a lot of moves, which is fine. But
a little bit, yeah.
Tonight should be different in the sense that the angles they've done building up to this match have been bloody and hateful and personal.
Yeah.
So there should be room for growth in terms of the way this match is wrestled, I think.
You'd hope some more intensity than moves is what you're looking for here.
Yeah.
We have another super chat from Bob the Builder. Shout out Bob the Builder. Appreciate you. $2 Canadian. Your reaction when you heard the Luca trade. We were together in a post show when the Disgraced Fella's brother brought it to our attention.
Yeah.
We all went, huh? Are you fucking kidding me? Is pretty much what we all said. Brainbuster said, oh, fuck.
Yeah, we were going through the WWE and AEW rosters, deciding who was good and who sucked. And someone on the call said the best wrestlers in the world were Shelton Benjamin, Samoa Joe, Angelo Dawkins.
Yes, that was a big one too.
And there was one more that was like the big four.
Was it EO?
Randy Orton, I think.
I don't know. But there was those three names are true. Dawkins was a part of it.
We were talking about that, as you can imagine, that was going many different ways. And then suddenly we heard and it was one of those things where you get the double reaction of Luke has been traded. What on earth? The Lakers, which is like the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah.
And then the AD element, then figuring out it wasn't just like, because Anthony Davis part of it's wild, but then you said that there isn't a ton else that comes with him. It's like,
no, not even much draft comp. It was just, it's the craziest trade I've seen in my lifetime, and probably the craziest NBA trade ever. Because you're not like, when you trade Luka, you're not just trading Luka, you're trading away at least the next 10 years of your franchise. Like at that point, like this is a guy who he's 25 years old. He's made 5 all NBA first teams. There's not a single other player in history that's done that. You know that?
It's wild. And I know there's like some concerns about him, but good God, man. It's, poor Buster's leaving. I don't care how much he weighs, dude. You get Luka, you can't be.
Dude, he can be pounding back fucking double-doubles out.
There has to be more to it.
There has to
be, dude.
I think it might just be a power play is what it seems like. An ego power play from, I forget his name right now, but the owner, like the GM guy. That's what it seems like to me, which is very, I'm sorry, Dallas Mavericks fans. I'm really sorry. We have an awful owner here in Carolina, but nothing that bad. My God.
The Charlotte Hornets you talking about?
I'm more talking about the Panthers and our football club, who has a big fat dork as our owner.
Wow.
But our ownership on NBA got better as soon as that gambling addict told the team. Johnny Burney, also appreciate you, Bob the Builder. Johnny Burney, Gato is in Belichick post-Brady form of booking. You don't get this, but this is a very real, and I really appreciate this comparison here. Because post-Brady, Belichick he couldn't run the offense, and he can't draft offensive players, but his defenses were still really good. So that's kind of like, different sides thing. Really good at one thing, pretty bad at the other.
Yeah.
I feel like is probably the case with him.
What was the deal when Brady had the inflated balls? What was that about?
Big scandal. Big scandal. Was
it real?
Yes. They legitimately did that. And I think they got suspended and stuff and big fine, but it's like they still did it and won games, so it's not like they could take it back. But it's rather crazy thing. It's why too, when people talk about the Chiefs nowadays and they think, oh, this is more evil than the Brady Patriots. No, it wasn't. As a kid, I fucking hated Brady because he just beat my team all the time and beat every team.
Who is the Chiefs lead player? I know this.
Sounds like
Mahomes?
Kermit the Frog. Yep.
Mahomes? Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. You like him?
No, I just knew a player's name. That's pretty sick.
Good for you, bro.
Baby steps.
You're growing into the game. Yeah, I appreciate this comparison, Johnny. I want to bring this up because Finley leaving New Japan is a big thing for New Japan right now. I feel like bigger than maybe some are claiming it to be, Is
it real? Do we have any reporting on this yet from credible sources?
No, but it seems so true that he's just kind of It's like he followed Triple H and changed his bio, did all this stuff, and I don't know, man. It seems like he would have popped up.
The idea of, and I'm sure like The Office, you got to be happy for the guy doing his thing, but investing 10 years into David Finley Jr. and him like getting good and then immediately leaving is pretty rough. We were talking shoot sports a minute ago. Can you imagine that from like a GMing point of view? Just years of persisting with this guy that people tell you sucks. It's like, not that he ever sucked, but he was just very he didn't really click.
He was whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a good comparison from another real sports. Imagine, folks, if Josh Allen left the Bills after he started getting good on his first contract. He left it because he was terrible the first couple of years and finally got good in his contract year. And imagine he left then. That's a similar thing, Joe. And you're very well versed.
That would be I can't even imagine a world in which that happened. That's terrible.
It's horrid.
Yeah.
This is another horrid world that we didn't get. Lexi B, 5 feet of sass, dominating the indie scene.
Let me tell you something. JJ and I, we were on fire, dude. We were plotting WrestleCon bookings. We were looking at some indie dates. At one point, JJ suggested she work New Japan Strong. There was a lot going on in the DMs. None of it came to be. We're going to have to wait 5 years. I'm sure at 39 years old, Lex will be no doubt attacking these territories with full vigor and enthusiasm. So we got some time, but we'll get there eventually.
And what a glorious day it'll be when the shoot interviews start coming.
Oh, baby.
We have Marcus in chat. Shout out Marcus. Byproduct of the wrestling ecosystem being so weird that people are pinning their hopes on WWE to fulfill what they want out of wrestling. This is a fantastic take. And Joe, we've said this before in many a post show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've spent hours on this actually, and
yes,
guys with like 10 rude profile pictures replying to WWE news with "We don't want him." It's like, who's we? You know, I mean, I think we is weird in general, but if you're gonna do it, at least have like a Liv Dom profile. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's really weird, man. I don't know what
have a Liv Dom picture.
Well, it just baffles me because it's people are doing this thing now where, and you can Raw can be your favorite show, SmackDown can be your favorite show. Clearly, I'm not against that. What I'm saying is, just because it's your favorite show doesn't mean it's representing your actual overall taste in wrestling. And some people seem like they want to project that. It's like, you know, our friend the Disgrace podcast, when the Nikki Bella thing got out there, he was like, "Who wants this?" And it's like the people that are buying tickets, man. She's one of the only people they want to cheer. You know, like it's just. And I told him this, and he even said to me he was wrong. Like he said, he was an example of what I was describing. And that's the issue with where the talent is currently distributed and the way the wrestling industry is it's just people are projecting their taste, which is, you know, again, like what you like. What I'm getting at is being surprised when it doesn't go the way you expect is baffling.
Yeah. It's a different audience. It's very crucial to the conversation about Jey Uso. Because we might think what we think, and these all, like the people with the 10 profile pictures, they might think he fucking sucks. But that audience that is paying the tickets and is going to go to all the shows and supports them on social media are fans, actually. And they like him.
Yes. And you don't have to, that doesn't mean anyone has to like him. But it is, true. I find it to be jarring when people are like startled by it. Or with being real, we spoke about this at length on Sunday night, whenever the Rumble was Saturday night.
Yeah,
we never ever expected him to get booed, and I mean he got a fucking standing ovation.
Bro, he pushed John Cena off the apron to win. John Cena in his final year of being a wrestler, and people were ecstatic about it. Yeah. Like it's just a different thing, man. It's just a different thing.
Yes, and that's okay. And if wrestling is healthy, WWE will continue to be for a different audience, but we need to fix the rest of this stuff.
Yeah,
that's the reality, dude. Yeah, like
this show.
The answer to some of the apathy you see from hardcore fans right now is not a sense that we need to fix Raw or SmackDown. They're clearly working for that audience. We need to get everything else where it needs to be. We need to, we need Pro to be better. We need honestly, I mean, we need the talent to be better in Pro. The Gaijin going to Japan right now is not up to standard. I don't know how we fix that, but I would love to. We need Dynamite to rediscover its unique vibe that feels different to those shows. We need TNA to have a unique vibe for the first time in 20 plus years. We need everyone to step up. You know, that's what, if you're watching a show like this, that's the shit you're looking for, really. Like waiting for them to stop pushing wrestlers you don't like in WWE it's just, you're never going to get there. That's just pointless to me.
You're not going to win that battle, you know, because they're not going
to wrestling talk here. Nova, this is a lot of wrestling talk for me.
And we appreciate, and non-paywall Hulbert too. And you're doing wrestling talk this extensive. It's
I'm exhausted. It's a lot going on here. I'm really talking about wrestling a lot.
You're exhausted, but I feel like you're getting inspired. Getting inspired to speak on it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to even have that conversation we just talked about on a show like this, because it is, crucial to AEW to find their way again. And that would immediately cease these kinds of conversations if we just, push the right people. That's all it comes down to,
Yeah.
And doing better by yourself.
It's, AEW, the biggest thing we can talk about the segment by segment, we can talk about all the individual pieces, but the biggest thing that I would love to see is them to have their own clear vibe and identity and style, and to just be unapologetic about it, this is the wrestling we want to do. I thought there was such potential with that. What was the catchphrase? We're the best wrestle.
Yes.
To just fully go back and watch when WCW was winning. WWF did something really interesting, and they changed their whole thing entirely. And in response to that, they did this deal where they highlighted the fact that their new gen athletes had better matches. First time they'd ever done it in history. So, like, while Hogan was on the other side, they had Shawn and Brett. And when those guys would wrestle, the announcer would smash over this idea of, like, you ain't going to see this. This is distinctly what we offer right now.
Yeah.
And I think AEW has an opportunity. I mean, Will Ospreay, whether you like his matches or not, and I'm sure most of you do, most people do, look at the way their crowds react to Will Ospreay's matches. I mean, Will Ospreay, to me, I saw Loss say this, he should be presented the way NWA presented Ric Flair once, in terms of, like, this is the best professional wrestler you're ever going to see. This guy right here, no one touches him inside those ropes, and he can excite and thrill, and he's going to win too. Guess what? He's going to win occasionally. That's... that's what I think they need to think about, is how are we different? What is our hook? How can we change the way the show looks? Maybe we scrap the ramp and stage and set when we're running small buildings rather than looking like the other show in a small room. Why are we doing that?
Maybe we stop at the LED barricades. We do just the metal ones, and we have our own distinct feel,
Maybe they innovate. Like, that's the other thing that's frustrating, is I think you're seeing, like, WWE are more innovative with their production right now than AEW, and that's fucking insane. It shouldn't be that way. Like,
no.
They
should be comfortable with where they're at.
Exactly. And this is not, let me be clear, for anyone who's not seen me before, this is not like WWE good shit. Like, I don't watch a lot of it. I'm just saying from what I see. I see them experimenting with, like, the Saturday Night's Main Event thing where they have the winding ramp that loops around to give the old school vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if that was what Dynamite just looked like. It was just a winding ramp. That'd be awesome. Maybe they had an aisleway in the crowd. I don't know.
Yeah. There's ideas you could have. You want it to be, and like I watched Raw this week and I saw that closing angle and I said, fuck, I just looked at my girl inside. What are we doing here, guys? It's pissing me off. And I replied to my own tweet and I said, you could be so much better than what you are. Like, fuck. This is it's absurd. And that's really what it comes down to when we have these conversations. You want it to be better than it is. You're not saying one is better than the other or that you prefer one. It's just you want it to be better so you can get into it. You have something to
honestly, even if it's not better, I want it to be different. I want to have a different feel entirely when I watch it. And this is why I don't talk about it a lot, because I find it boring to, like, say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to do this, but we're having a conversation. I think the chat gets where we're going with this. It's just there's so much to be done with wrestling TV and the way it's set up. And obviously, look, guys, eventually it has to be promos and matches. We're not oblivious to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think there's so much you can do to differentiate yourself that feels like it's been lost to time, because wrestling TV has only been one way for so long. I look at someone like Renee and I think, what if she's the host of the show? What if the show starts with Renee and she interviews people throughout the show? What if every match, rather than 10-minute promos, what if every single match the winner got 30 seconds of promo time? Like in the UFC with a post-match interview, You don't have to bring Joe Rogan in. But you get my point. You get my point. Like, just different things and different way of setting things up. And also sometimes, I'm going to stop with this, I promise. Sometimes pat yourselves on the back and make the most of what you do, like, produce. For example, if you have a match like Okada and Will Ospreay, a match of that caliber in a tournament final that you've been spent 6 weeks on, maybe spend like 10 minutes giving him a trophy, dude. Maybe have like
pageantry, Joe. Pageantry.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You do these conversations. You go, remember when that match happened? No. And it's like, well, because they didn't let you remember it. They didn't let it sink in. So what you're ultimately doing is you're making a great meal, taking a bite, and then throwing it in the bin.
Yeah.
Sit down and eat the meal.
Sit down and eat it, and then you go after, talk to your friends, say that meal was fucking good.
Yeah.
You celebrate that meal. You say, I just had one of the best meals I've ever eaten, actually. It was great.
You may even share some of it. It'd be amazing.
It would be great. It would be a great time. I would totally agree. And I feel like this, we just like to talk graps on the show nowadays. Like, we cover some Dynamite matches. We've done a bit of it here, but we just enjoy wider graps talk. At least I enjoy having that with different perspectives and stuff. I feel like you're bringing up some very good points. So I think hopefully people are enjoying it. If they are, Joe, there's one specific thing they can do.
Okay, I'm going to try and remember. I think it is, because Bob talks about this a lot. So I think what you do is there's a button, and it resembles a thumb, I think.
Like this?
Thumb up, important. Yeah, it just goes down right up.
Okay.
And if you click that, it helps I believe it's algorithm. But, and this is the important part, if you've already clicked it, you don't click it again because then you're undoing your like, and therefore you're not helping us in the algorithm. So you have to do it an odd amount of time. So if you clicked it twice now, you need to do a third, otherwise we're in big trouble. I think that's right, isn't it? That's how it works.
I think you kind of nailed it. I think maybe I've heard better explanations of it before, but I did appreciate what you've done. Odd numbers is pretty much what boils down to is odd numbers. So 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, anything like that is good.
Yeah, 7 is a lot. I think YouTube might get frustrated at that point.
Yeah, they might get pissed at me. I don't know. I can't speak on it, but
you can ring the bell. JJ's right. You can ring the bell.
True. I don't ever tell people to do that, but they do. It seems that people do ring the bell. And at that point, you get notifications when I go live or when I post a video. Can you fucking believe that?
So you're the one that rings the bell, really, aren't you? They just ask for you to ring it.
Yeah, you know, like very similar to like a small town and church bells. So church bells, new hour, and that's when I upload. And then everyone in the town, they go, well, something's happening. What's going on?
That's exciting, dude. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, we should start talking about that in the other place where we both
the bell
work a lot. Yeah, the bell. But you know, we appreciate you guys nonetheless. We also should be mentioned here because I'm scrolling down chat. We're gonna have to speed run here in a minute because we're about 30 minutes behind because we've done a lot of yapping. Shout out Chuck. For Girls on Graps as well. Apparently they rated the show. We appreciate it. Shout out Girls on Graps. They're going live on Wednesdays now. Check them out at Wrestle Purists.
Yeah.
And
Chuck, if you're still here, I popped Novi's record house, so bring me my money.
Now you know what the fee is. We're trying to do girls and Joe, you know.
Thanks.
But yes, that's what we're gonna go for. We're gonna go crazy here for a minute. We're gonna do super speed. I'm gonna scroll down this chat. Okay. I'm gonna find every now and again. Brainbuster is very upset about AEW Dynamite.
He's quite mad, isn't he, Brainbuster? Quite
He's
mad.
An angry guy. He keeps telling people to die on Twitter today. I don't know what's going on. It's been interesting, but I don't know. Do your own thing. This is the thing. SmackDown interesting characters: Cody, KO, Randy, but they have no mid card. But the top is good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's a great example. Shinsuke and DIY. We tolerate these things in this country.
We're okay with it. Even some people they want it, which is rather unfortunate. Kale. Almost as soon as I started watching Dynamite, the vibes got worse. Interesting. Kale, when did you actually start watching Dynamite? I've never asked this, but you seem to be the cause of the problem. So I'm curious to see when that happened. Let's see here. Apparently Gable could go on excursion to AAA.
Oh my God.
What? How would we feel?
I mean, just the vibes would be incredible. I don't know who he'd grapple, but the vibes would be incredible.
Yeah, it would be. We have another angle here. MJF is on the show. He could get interrupted by Double J. Maybe it's not over. Maybe they're continuing. And maybe that's where it happens. You never really know. Jeff Jarrett still stinks, just straight up. Rather interesting. See, this is about our conversation earlier, Joe. Same kind of vibe. There's police cars outside. I hope that's not coming across too loud. There's a lot of them, though.
It's pretty bad, dude. You okay?
Really? That was getting louder.
Very loud, yeah. Loud.
There is a road directly next to me, so it's rather unfortunate.
Directly next to you? Like next to your set? Are you just on the side of the street or something? What do you mean outside of your studio apartment?
No, directly. I'm on the street. I'm on the corner. You know, like the podcast on the street guys? Like they set up a table? Yeah. That's me. That's where I'm at.
Is Chuck behind or something? Because Chuck is commenting in a sort of... I don't know what Chuck's referencing. I mean, last time she said about Nikki and Elektra, I know what that's referencing, but we haven't said about that in a while, unless I'm mistaken.
It's been like 30 minutes, in fact. Yeah. Well, shout out Chuck for Rewind. Hopefully you'll get to this soon. So shout out you. Cope is cool, but World Champion Cope is not what anyone watching the program wants, which is very true. They want Osprey, I think, is
Osprey
probably
or Swerve or Hangman. Yeah,
one of those three. I'd be very happy. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down. This is very true. The hipster Wallace does sound very sexual. Sounds very romantic. Just like the match between Punk and Sammy on Friday. Did you watch that match? Or on Monday?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm saving it for a rainy day.
Yeah, you did mention that. You're going to save it to the perfect moment. I think that's smart. I was watching this on my phone, just switched to my TV. I thought your hat said "fuck" all this time. The fuck?
Really?
Is that what it? There's
That's
another one.
Yeah.
Can you believe this?
Seems good and safe. But there's a ball here, folks. There's a ball. This is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the final boss.
The Brahma freaking bull.
Freaking Rumble. I just watched the 2015 Rumble because I'm reviewing it on Friday because someone requested it. I'm not like a masochist. And Chuck just put, I just realized I'm behind his stream. Yes, Chuck. We've just called you out for this. And I was watching it and I forgot how hilarious Dwayne's face is when Roman's getting booed. Like he just stands there like, this was a mistake. I need to get out of this ring immediately. It's awesome.
Time to go to the back.
Yeah.
I'm very upset he didn't get involved in Mania. I'm very upset. You know, I'm telling you about it, which seems a little aggressive, but
I've got the words. I'm enraged. Actually, I'm literally sitting with a Rock hat on. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me.
It's rather unfortunate. The Hipster Walrus, he lost 3 big matches on pay-per-view. This is according to Swerve. That is kind of crazy that it's been that many. I sometimes forget. Yeah. Dog collar match at pay-per-view. Swerve does bring a chain with him. I can get behind that.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that would. I mean, whenever you do the dog collar, it's like you're setting yourself up, right? The expectations are always high in terms of violence and blood. But I don't doubt Swerve Strickland at this point in the ball game. I think he's kind of proven himself beyond any doubt. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Also want to bring up here too, this Sunday on the Graps Podcast YouTube channel, 4 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing Cage Match Chronicles dog collar match. Definitely check that out. There'll be some beautiful graps. So we're going to watch the famous old school one, which I'm forgetting the name of right now, but you would know. Famous dog collar.
Piper and Valentine.
True. There's another one. Can you believe it? They're trying to kill me, I think.
There's one of the best Punk lines ever. Is Piper had his Valentine, will you be mine, or whatever he said. That is like one of the best CM Punk. It was Valentine's when it was that week.
Yes, yes, because it was the MJF match.
That's too good. That's like, well, God, what a great promo.
The promos and build up are just beautiful.
Oh, incredible.
Beautiful.
Max is a close friend, you know, of course. I've watched him 100 times. I definitely observe that stuff regularly. I haven't seen that stuff at all since it happened. I actually should rewatch it. I'm kidding. But you're watching Greg and Roddy. You're watching
we are gonna Yeah, we're gonna do Punk and MJF. We need a 5th one. We're gonna do one from New Japan that I'm forgetting the name of. And then we're gonna do one outside of that. I'm forgetting all 5 of them because I haven't watched the matches yet. I'm going to, but we're gonna wait on that. It's very similar to the School of Wrestling. Don't watch it till closer to the day, you know.
Would you like me to stop by on the Grats podcast and just do like a 10-minute monologue about MJF, maybe?
That'd be glorious. You should.
Yeah.
I'm the unofficial 3rd co-host now, so I can allow these things.
Yeah, I don't know why they let that happen, but
but you know, respect. Riley Walker, $5 super chat. Thank you, Riley. Sent half the pitch, but new idea came to mind. Do Eddie JBL Judgment Day 04 for Rico Swerve. Have Rico be Bradshaw. Do a Texas death at Revolution. Thoughts on this, Joe?
I mean, if they went for that, I would respect the bravery, definitely. I mean, you'd have to get some serious juice, but again, Swerve has shown that bravery is a pretty apt word for you. I mean, he's a lunatic. Yeah. Okay, so it's Izuka and Eugene Nagata. Okay, it's just a shame my schedule's crazy. I'd like to watch those matches with you guys. It's in the chat. Khalid has put them in the chat. But
thank you, Khalid.
Shout out Khalid, by the way.
Punk and Raven.
The most underrated person in the entire space. Khalid.
Very true. You guys want to watch a good representation of that? Go watch our Pure Time Capsule talking about Nanai Takahashi. That was a beautiful 3-hour history lesson.
He's one of those characters that he has no interest in playing the game. No. Tweets and consumes wrestling exclusively in a way that interests him. Refuses to really. And as someone, it took me years to get to that point, so I appreciate it, and he pops me. So shout out Khalid, but
deeply respect.
Yeah. To this suggestion, I'm all for it. It'll be a big swing, but Swerve has shown a penchant for violence and blood that would put in safe hands. Even if it obviously would be different, right? But I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I agree. Thank you, Riley, once again. Rosho, a Bullet Club leader, leaving without getting kicked out. Woke nonsense. I think this is true, actually. I've decided there's utter woke nonsense. Gabe Kidd should have killed him, right? On his way out.
For sure. It's a tradition, right?
Yeah. It's got to be. It's got to happen. Charlie, the finish is Hangman for Swerve and Rico. Swerve's been tweeting at Hangman a little bit, and they had that segment on Dynamite last week. Did you see this? Actually, I shouldn't assume that you saw it.
I didn't. I thought Hangman was working with my friend Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
It was in the same segment, right? So Hangman walks up to Swerve's door. He's not in there. Walks out and walks past Max, and Max is like, "Who the fuck is that guy?" I think he is. That was kind of his deal. So it seems like I could see this happening. This could be the case.
You suggested maybe a crisscross of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's an active world, Joe. It's an active world. Things happen in the same universe, you know.
These are characters living in the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, AEW is about family. That's what it's about. It's just characters.
It's characters interacting, building stories on each other. It's just wonderful. Just wonderful, Graps. Caden, Novi better read my comment. No, we keep this. You confuse this. We keep that behind the paywall. My comment. You know his comment. Where we only hired him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I saw him comment that again. That's a heinous.
That's a paywall business. You can't
heinous thing to put out there.
It's too layered of a joke to do around here.
I am famously wholesome and unproblematic. There's no reason to put that kind of stuff on my name, you know?
True. And you don't associate with anybody like that who's ever would be like problematic in any way, you know?
No.
You're very much individual creator, content creator.
Yes. I don't share the screen with anyone.
Yeah. Miss. Fair enough.
Just don't go to Late Night Grin channel and click sort by most viewed and you'll be fine. There's
no sessions here. No sessions. No. Let's see here. Gotta move away from the elderly and back to the elite. This is a very funny comment, so I'm talking about it here. But you will hear from me on Saturday about why that's not exactly the case. Although I would like the Young Bucks to come back soon.
Yeah, I don't know if the Young Bucks are sort of the youth movement the country is waiting for, but I get the sentiment nonetheless, you know. Like,
the elite. I'm telling you, the elite.
No, I get it.
Those are them, bro.
I don't know if like the kids out there are going, "Oh, baby, when we get Matt and Nick back, we finally get."
All right, fine. I'll concede.
No, I agree. The elite obviously should always be a focus. Always.
Yeah. JJ, I get furious. This hilarious comment. I get furious at their idea of cinema by having the backstage interviews in the fucking dark. You have Renee and whoever the hell it is, and it's not lit. HD television in the dark. Is that one thing you could say about Dynamite, that it's just not lit, as the kids say?
I don't know. JJ does get very furious about this. He's mentioned this to me a few times. Yeah, I think the show could be. I honestly think wrestling could be more like vibrant and could pop more and could spotlight the guys more in a style-like fashion at times, but
more colorful.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not sure that's the right direction generally, but to JJ's point, yes, this is something they try. I mean, sometimes they go at the back and they're not even lights on. Remember when someone was it Roddy and Archer like brawled to the back and it was just pitch, there's just no lights.
Yeah, you couldn't see a thing. It was great.
Yeah, sure, it's fun.
Anjan, pageantry, presentation, pomp, and circumstances are what makes this game mean something. This is very true. Yes. Very, very true. I'm scrolling down here. We're making our way through, Joe. We're getting
good.
Kale, since I hate wrestling so much, thoughts on the new Jurassic World trailer, Joe?
The fact there is a new Jurassic World trailer is a failure of Earth.
It's disgraceful. But I did see the Fantastic Four trailer, and that was quite good and made me very excited. So
okay, so explain what's the canon like? So is this a new Fantastic Four? Because I know they've done a few attempts, right?
Yes, it is a new Fantastic Four, it seems. And it seems like they're starting from the very beginning with them, like how they first came together, I feel like. So it's going to be great, Joe. Just trust. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
I will not be there, but it sounds like it'll be good. I think I've completed the comic book movie chapter of my life, you know?
Okay, it's an origin story. Well, that's what I mean. That's kind of what I was implying, but not exactly. But yeah, it's an origin story of the Fantastic Four.
Isn't that what you said?
Yes. That was kind of what I said. Not exactly that way. Caden just, he's bad guy, that guy.
No, Caden said it isn't an origin story.
Oh, it's not? Oh, I don't care. It is to me. Man, we're getting close to the timer here. There's no room for this kind of correction, Caden. There's no room for it. Leave it the fuck alone. Let me Kale likes dinosaurs. JJ Williams, Novi, are you going to Vegas this year to day drink with me and Hulbert? No, but I will be in Texas for All In. So let's day drink there. Charlie loves being right about Bliss and Bella. I'm sure you do too, Joe. You guys can celebrate together.
Great DM conversation. Yeah. Just talking about the sexism of the game with Chuck. Just having a great morning.
Yeah, it was great early start time on that business. The top is good and is a crazy phrase. Yeah, I think Takeshita should start calling himself the top. I think that would be ideal. I'm down for it. Let's do it. Punk and Sammy was emotional. I didn't speak on it earlier. I asked you if you spoke on it. I thought that match was absolutely tremendous, and it was glorious grabs. Two classic ROH wrestlers getting the chance to do this on Monday Night Raw in 2025 meant something to me, is the best way to say. Meant something to me. Of course, Big Natural, Dwayne the Bullfuck Johnson from JJ Williams. Thank you, JJ Williams, for that. Our nickname for Dustin Rhodes is the Big Natural.
Yeah. Informed about this.
The big, busty, and beautiful natural. Thank you. Dustin Rhodes.
I love Dustin. There's a Dustin Rhodes action figure right above me here. He is standing behind Athena next to Roderick Strong.
Wow.
And he looks I've got to say, he looks quite big.
He is a tall guy, to be fair.
I mean, Athena and Roderick Strong, I mean, it's not, ain't exactly the fucking New Japan roster,
It's not the Globetrotters,
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm a big reading guy. You know this about me, Joe. Big reading guy. I read well. Okay. JJ, we're going to smash high noons like you all should smash the like button on your way out. This is very true. It's very true.
Unless you've already smashed
Unless you already have. But folks,
yeah.
I've skipped a lot of your messages, but I've seen them all. You guys have been fantastic today. I very much appreciate it. We have a new record house here, Joe. Breaking your previous record house, which is that's got to be put on the resume front and center, I think. It's got to be.
I'm going to send it to Meltzer. Finally can bring me in.
Maybe. I do hear there's an opening on a Monday show.
There's definitely an opening on Mondays, yeah. Not sure I'll be a good fit, but we'll see. But I was thinking about this. Like, imagine I'm doing the Observer, right? But I just talk this way. Like, Dave's talking about Ospreay, and I go, so who is Alexa wrestling on Friday, Dave? Can we cut to the chase? Yeet or no yeet, Dave? I think it would go poorly, but it'd probably go better than that Monday spot you talked about. But,
yeah. See, that would at least be funny. I'd find it hilarious, in fact, that you're telling him this thing. You're telling him these things. And he'd say,
Chuck, this is the thing. Have you noticed this thing? Chuck says Joe stays booked and busy. Have you noticed that's like a thing in if someone you like gets a lot of work, that's what you say. Like you do a tweet and you go, my fave is booked and busy.
I haven't seen this.
Have you not seen this?
Is this what all your friends say to you?
Like it's just like someone, like say an actor, they'll get like 2 movie roles in a year. And people will quote and go, Timothy Chalamet stays booked and busy. It's like
that makes sense.
It's a really what I like about it is it's a very functional praise. It's sort of you're not saying someone's like gorgeous or glamorous or even talented, just going, yeah. I tell you what, he fucking gets work, that fella, doesn't he? Yeah.
It
sounds like a lane for me to attack.
Yeah, because you're not implying that the work is good or bad or anything. You're just saying
they're just busy.
They're just busy. And that's great. That's good for them. Well, we do appreciate you, Joe, being busy with this show tonight, bringing on. I should ask. A lot of people would know where you come from and what you represent, but you want to tell the people?
Yes, I come from Great Britain. I represent the Labour. I don't co-sign any of these parties. I wish they'd all fuck off. But anyway, no, I do Late Night Grin. And I do like shows every single day for some reason, often multiple shows. I'm back on the air in 2 hours for the Hulbert House show, which you can watch if you're an LNG Gold member. Sign up for as low as $1.99. There are 3 tiers. Well, there's 4 tiers, but really free that offer different content. So, yeah. And I think anyone, and I'm not just saying this like I mean this, and Novi's a big part of it, so he can share this acclaim. Anyone that has actually signed up for LNG Gold, I think can like coast. It is an insane. Yeah, I mean, we do not shortchange you. If you don't like it, that's fine, but you're not going to go, man, these guys aren't really, they're kind of slacking. It's not really what we do. I mean,
there's shows nearly every night across different eras too, so you can pick and choose what you like,
Yeah. I mean, taking a week off next week, and I'm taping stuff so that there's still Joe Hulbert content on the channel. So if you're interested, if somehow you've liked this what I've done here tonight, Late Night Grin. But thank you, Novi. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. So I can co-sign that. I'm on the Late Night Grin channel. It's always linked in the description all the time. You'll see me very often. And what are we doing anything soon that we'd be on together, me and you?
We're going to be taping something soon, a short thing with Manuel, hopefully tomorrow.
True,
but I think...
Oh, that's a good thing I should actually say. Should I say that here, you think? The booking tomorrow?
Sure.
No. Many of you will have seen Chuck on the Dynamite review. Well, I've kicked the British out of the Dynamite review. Not entirely, but I kicked her out. And so we're doing the Dynamite review tomorrow. The WrestlePierce Dynamite review. Novi is going to be talking it. We're going to be on there with at least Marcus and Rob, and we're going to talk some fucking grabs. It's going to be glorious. Make sure to tune into the WrestlePierce channel tomorrow. Make sure to tune into this show next week. Watch the video on Saturday. Subscribe to Late Night Grin, and like Joe said, maybe don't support the Union Jack. I don't know. It's up to you.
I wouldn't. But by the way, you know that WrestlePierce news?
Yeah.
You're fired, bro. I'm not coexisting with those people.
Fuck. Fuck.
Good luck. Good luck in your future endeavors, bro. Do not aggregate.
Please leave a like on the way out.